All right, folks, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Let's go ahead and get airborne with our primary live trade brief, day 2 of Full Throttle. We had a great welcome aboard brief last night, just ask me. No, it was a good time. A lot of great energy, a lot of good stuff going on, man. I believe in the good things coming. And, before we even get airborne, there's great stuff going on in here. I want to open this up a little bit. So hang on. There we go. Check this out, man. So David, Pam, I love logging into these briefs and seeing stuff like this. So Pam is one of our angels for our No Fallen Heroes project, but she's also putting down the ladder to help some folks that she knows that are having a really tough time. Former Marine drill sergeant, 3 or 4 tours in Afghanistan. He lost nine of his Marines in a day. Guy's working at Home Depot right now, just in a world of hurt. And Pam, based upon the Holy Spirit working through her and seeing our project, we're connecting people and to Jesse and our one of our angels, literal angels on earth. Her name is Nicole Fox. She's working. She made an intro over to Jesse Gould. They run the Heroic Hearts Project, which is another foundation who tries to provide any sort of healing to veterans in need. So Pam, nice job, man. I love logging in and seeing something like that. And then David, dude, just listen to episode 7 of the podcast. That was so powerful. Happy you had that experience, and the rest of it was cut off. What's it say? Feeling so blessed. I'm sorry. Happy you had that experience and shared it. Good question. Might be because you weren't here last night. So here's the replay page for last night. If you want to watch, when you have. Listen to me. When you have to watch you got to watch the welcome aboard brief, folks. I know that one of my partners mailed last night, and we have a lot more people in here, so I'm not wasting any more time about talking about me, even though I'd love to. Joke. Go watch this brief from last night. We get into everything, man. We laughed, we cried. It was better than Cats. I'd see it again and again. So there's the link to the replay page. Please go watch this. It's the history of me, the history of Top Gun Options, what I'm currently doing, which might blow your mind, and a lot of other cool stuff going on. So please go take a look. Benoit, the last night's recording is right here where I am talking about it. You bet. It is the Max Afterburner podcast. So David's talking about episode 7. So episode 7 back here, I think I did a month or 2 ago, is where I debriefed my first journey, my first life-changing journey, where I rediscovered God, right? Because I lost God. God didn't lose me. After a lot of pain and trauma and just bad stuff. Here's the link to that. You can listen on iHeart, Spotify, on the Joe Rogan platform. Let me put this link in the chat box. But the most recent podcast, 17, I start debriefing my most recent journey. If you can, just knock out, subscribe, drop a like in there if you can, to my podcast. Real quick, and then we're going to get airborne. Last Tuesday morning at this time, look at this. I had like a 7 o'clock. What time was that flight? 7? Look at this. Look at these. So as Daniel Carcillo would say, there are no coincidences. He calls them God winks. So this time, last Tuesday morning, I was flying back, got back from Mexico and was flying from San Diego back here. And look, I was in the line at airport security, and look at the sign. Somewhere, a life-changing medicine is stuck in line 2. Let's unstick it. Right there, as I'm leaving San Diego, I'm like, okay, God, I got it, man. Political science major, poor kid from New Jersey. Sometimes you got to hit me right between the eyes with signs everywhere, the signs. All right, let's go. My personal accounts. What do I have going on? Got a boatload of Amazon long and short, which is bipolar, and so am I. I'm long SIL, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, man. We are going to talk about the psychedelic space. You have got to get into the psychedelic space, and it's now. I feel like Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln. Now is the time for the 13th Amendment. Now is the time to invest in psychedelics before it's too late. And some Robin Hood that's just laughing at me in my portfolio. Yeah. Hey, Bob, we're going to talk about our pump, man. We have enough members here at Top Gun Options where we can pull a Nancy Pelosi, man. I mean, we have enough. We move stocks. We'll talk about that. But 150 of our lifetime members, we're going to start getting into some of these psychedelic names, and we're going to start pushing them around like a piece of yellow gear on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier. Okay, so that's what I got going on in my personal accounts. Quick reminder, I don't have to do that, right? This is a training environment, but I still tell you what I personally have in my real brokerage accounts for full transparency, right? The only time you have to disclose this stuff is if you are a professional money manager, which I ain't. Why do I have this picture on my personal account slide? Because, and I started putting this on here about a month or two ago. Why? To tell you what's coming. And what's coming is awful unless you're here and you print money. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There's the election. There's the S&P 500 in red. The green is the Federal Reserve balance sheet. Somebody tell me, you don't have to tell me, you can look at the screen right now. Somebody tell me when the Federal Reserve takes their punch bowl away, what's going to happen? That is going to happen. It started to happen, and we didn't even start it to happen. There's further to go. If you're sitting there, I was in the shower after my meditation, just a sponge of laid on me. The only thing holding this market up is hope right now. I listened after my meditation in my mastermind call, and kind of hope is keeping us up here right now. So if the market's kind of getting nervous and imploded a little bit based on Jerome Powell talking about tapering and raising interest rates, what's going to happen when he does? Now, we're going to talk through all of this today and what potential trades we can place to profit. Because, I mean, that picture right there says it all, guys. So, Daniel, I talk to myself all the time, and if I need expert advice, I will just ask myself. Exactly, Daniel. I love the movie Braveheart when, what's his name? Steven. He's like talking to God. And the one guy's like, so you're talking to God? He's like, yeah. In order for an Irishman to talk to his equal, he has to talk to God. So that's a joke. Okay, flight schedule. We knocked out our welcome aboard last night. It was epic. Just ask me, go watch it. We're in the primary live trade brief right now. Tonight at 8, I'm going to go down to Fort Lauderdale here in a bit, debrief some of my journey with Ms. Nicole, because she's got a ton of lessons learned, because she's been behind the scenes and doing a ton of stuff, and I got to get the nameless and rankless debrief about how we're going to improve our execution for future, helping veterans and all folks, as you saw our monk last night who passed away Friday night when we were doing our journey, which is nuts. I'm actually I got a lot of, through support, I saw a lot of folks like, I love after a welcome aboard brief, people are like, can I become a member now? I'm like, okay, babe, I'll see how we're doing for time. Maybe we'll open up the slots at the end of this brief. Definitely tonight. Accelerated tomorrow. And then Thursday, I threw this on. This was just going to be for my current members, but even if you don't join Full Throttle or Top Gun Options, I'm going to give you a free brief on Thursday with our strategic partner, one of our partners called Traders Accounting. If you've ever wanted to know about trading through an LLC or a business or taxes and all sorts of stuff, you got to come Thursday. It's the same link to get into all this stuff, so you don't have to do anything. Real quick, let me give you a 100,000 foot view of Top Gun and kind of where we are. Right now, you're in the primary live trade brief. It's every Tuesday at 10 a.m. On Wednesdays at 10 a.m., we have what's called AR, Accelerated Retirement. And then on Wednesday, or wait, no, that's all wrong. I'll fix this. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Is what the flow is. I'll fix that. But what my point was getting at, you're in the primary live trade brief right now. I guess I didn't click save on the damn slide I was working on. I will do that. Primary live trade brief, you're in it. A quick intro. I already did it. You're done. Go watch the replay if you weren't here last night. I'm not doing a quick intro. Our performance, and I'm going to give you a strategic and operational brief about what's going on around the world, what's going on in the United States domestically, and then we can get tactical and we're going to trade. SOT. We covered that last night. We'll knock out our trade plan as we go through a couple trades. We'll take a look at the portfolio, any adjustments we have to make, and then get tactical is what we're talking about. Ask me questions as we go, because that's the way these briefs work. Let's take a look at this. I dug this one out, blew some dust off of it. Let's just kind of take a look at where we are. Let's go to the bottom first, because markets move in cycles, don't they? The answer is yes. I've been doing this for over 3 decades. So I've lived every one of these cycles. We're in it. Life is a cycle, right? Your soul is in a cycle for all eternity. Late bear trends, wait. Early bull trends, buy. That was March of 2020 when the smart money, like Jeffrey Gundlach, was like, oh, we're going to go lower. We're going to get destroyed. And I'm like, that dude's wrong. He manages $150 billion at Double Line Capital, and he's wrong. We were right. So early bull trends, you buy. Late bull trends, hold. And then early bear trends, sell. Guess where we are? Oh, geez, look where we are. Okay. The sectors can cycle over periods of months, but generally take a few years to complete their cycles, with some areas going through bull and bear phases more quickly than others. There is a reckoning a-coming, I guarantee you. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. All the links are in the chat box, folks, for the podcast. Just Google Max Afterburner podcast, and you can listen to all those. And then the replay page is in there as well. Oh, that's the order page. All right. Let me start my brief. It's funny because I don't like looking at it, but I look at it every day with my cup of coffee. You have got to read the Global Times. No, this is not The Onion, but sometimes it is comedy, but it's not funny. The Global Times is essentially the mouthpiece newspaper or whatever media outlet for the Communist Chinese Party. U.S. should not misjudge rare warning from China on Taiwan question. Oh my God. I covered this last night. Towards the end, I said, did you hear the Chinese foreign minister a couple days ago on the Taiwan question? On the Taiwan question, if the United States tries to intervene in any way, shape, or form, it will be a military conflict between our two countries. What? Yeah, I heard that. Did you? Or are we all still frothing at the mouth about Joe Rogan? Isn't it incredible that a dude who smokes weed and talks about aliens on a podcast is a threat to the media and democracy and this country? What the fuck is going on? All these people with their nice, crisp brown shirts trying to silence any form of not just dissent. The dude's kind of like, I just want to talk to people of differing views. Hate crime, misinformation, bury him. It kind of looks like what I'm looking at right now, the Global Times. But anyway, I always read this stuff. If you are not looking at what your enemy is talking about, you're a fool. China will take Taiwan. I had a long call with one of my doctor buddies. There's 2 doctors, and they're brothers, right? Dr. Handel and Dr. Handel. Dr. Handel does plastic surgery, not on me, and his brother is the orthopedic guy. Dr. Plastic Surgeon Handel called me over the weekend when I was on my hockey tournament with my son, Jack, who scored. When's this market going to turn around, Wiz? That's a separate discussion. I told him, and let's go over here real quick. Folks, if you're not inverted right now, you're crazy. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. SPX, 500 names. It's like that Bugs Bunny cartoon. What did I tell you guys? We're going to snap back to this 200-day moving average. I guarantee you. What was I ranting about? Oh, this. Folks, you have to roll inverted in your aircraft right now. If you're sitting here, because I keep getting stuff. Oh, when's a buy? When? I'm like, you're done. Don't ask me when's a buy. Not anytime soon. Shift your strategic mindset or don't. That's up to you. Look at the past year. Let me just kind of draw. Well, we'll go over to a portfolio. Let's look at what the past year looked like in the S&P 500. I used to love being home from school sick when I was a kid. I'd watch McHale's Navy, Hogan's Heroes, The Price is Right. How about The Price is Right? One of my favorite games was The Mountain Climber. The dude that would yodel, yodel. I'm not going to yodel. Everybody will leave. The mountain climber would go up the mountain yodeling, right? And if you got the price right, he'd stop. If you got it wrong, he went off the cliff. We got the prices wrong. Let's take a look at a one-year chart of the S&P 500. Does anybody see a trend? Bounce, 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 bounce. It's the mountain climber, yodel, yodel. Oop. My point being is this. Do you see that trend? Even a knuckle-dragging political science major like Wiz can spot a trend. Emil, yes, the recording for tonight. You're in the UAE. I don't think we have last count. We have 36 country members at Top Gun Options from Australia. We have some in China, which they're good people. I got a buddy in Hong Kong. You're in the UAE. That's awesome. You can watch the recording on the replay page. All right, so when the market gets into a trend, don't fight the trend. What also kept this market up last year? Here's another don't fight. Don't fight the Fed. Jerome Powell pumping money out of the back of his town car, printing money. He'd run to Kinko's and Office Depot and Staples to buy more ink, to print money. Now what's the Fed doing? Not printing money, taking money away, raising interest rates. Don't fight the Fed means don't fight the Fed on the way up and don't fight the Fed on the way down. Now let's go back to the S&P 500 picture. Here's what I mean by you have to invert yourself. Let me put a negative sign in front of the S&P 500. Minus. I drew this, was it yesterday in Solo Amazon or the other day? So look at this, folks. Rip your face off rally, little bit of a pullback. Is it going to do this? It could. Now remember, we're upside down, guys. I'm showing you what it looks like upside down, not me. If you were just getting into investing and somebody showed you a chart like this, rip your face off rally, taking a little bit of a break, would you get ready to pound it into the dirt? Yeah, maybe. Or would you like, holy crap, man, this thing was on a monster trend, a little bit of a pullback, maybe now I can get in and monster trend. Folks, February and October-ish, the two most volatile and awful months of the year in the stock market are February and October. Why February? Well, guess what happens? We were supposed to have a Santa Claus rally. There's your Santa Claus rally. Implosion. Usually, let me go over here into the white space. This is what October, November, December, January usually look like. This and, oh yeah, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, hey, good Christmas, earnings into January, and then we level, and then slam, February. That's what usually happens. You get this January kind of coast because they're all reporting earnings based on what they did in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter sounded like it sucked. I saw a lot of, hey, Christmas was great and record sales. And then I'm hearing recently that wasn't the case. So which one was it? I don't know because I've seen both. But ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm putting this chart up here is because you have to invert your thinking. People sitting here like, well, I'm waiting for the market to go up. Over in my office, man, I told you that book on Colin Powell. Colin Powell said, do not get so close to your position strategically that when presented with new information, you don't change. Sounds like the president and the Democrat Party right now. The polls are saying this. The polls are wrong. They just want more of what we're doing, not less. What? John, JP, hey, JP, haven't seen you in a while. You nailed Brexit. You nailed COVID. October 26, 2020, nailed Monday cash, buying those puts, went up 2,000% in one day. You remember that? If you nail this one, I need to check your phone number to the big guy upstairs. Dude, thank you, JP. JP's been here for a while, man. I'm saving that one. Brexit was fun. Dropbox. I'm saving that. And this stuff, folks, I love when people throw stuff in here unsolicited because that's the way we work. All right, so let's get back to the strategic. That was a little tactical, but here's what I'm getting at. Things suck. China, again, Adolf Hitler was smart. And if you just fell out of your chair, please listen to me because that would be taken out of context. That would be a good CNN move. Wiz said this. He was smart in the sense that he did what? He was a liar. The famous clip of Neville Chamberlain getting off an airplane. I have a signed document from Adolf Hitler. What? I have a signed document from Adolf Hitler that there will be peace in our time. Hitler back in Germany going, you wouldn't believe what I told these guys. I'm like, I'm not going to do anything bad. Invade the Sudetenland. China. Look at Iran. Oh, when we get a nuke, not if we get a nuke, we're going to wipe Israel off the face of the planet. We're going to use the nuke and destroy Israel and as many Americans as we can. Oh, the Democrats are like, you're nuts. Yeah, they are. We're not actually listening to our enemy. We think they're not telling the truth. It's insane. Foreign Minister of China 2 days ago on a Sunday show. It will result in war between our two countries. Now, let me move this over to trading. Man, that was a long rant. Let me get back to Doc. Doc's got like 5,000 shares of Apple. Well, Wiz, this is safe. I'm glad I got my Apple. I'm like, oh. Do you not remember at the height of the trade war, Donald Trump's trade war with China? Sanctions this, boom, mark it up, mark it down. China, their foreign ministry or whoever the press conference was, the dude went to the podium and is like, yeah, if this gets any more serious, we're coming up with an evil company list that will never be allowed in China. Apple, you're at the top of the list. He said the name of a company. For a while there, and I could show you the reports, you couldn't even bring your iPhone out in public in China. People were like, it's anti-China. I was going to say anti-American, even though Apple is a company that is anti-American, right? We won't open our iPhone to the FBI of the dude that's killing people in San Bernardino. He's a Muslim terrorist shooting Americans. Hey, open his iPhone. We need to find intelligence and save lives. No. Privacy. China. Hey, every iPhone has to have all sorts of tracking software so we can spy on all of our citizens. You got it, China. That's Apple. Let me get back to it. When, not if, China takes back Taiwan and Joe Biden or Kamala tries to do something like financial sanctions, we're not doing anything militarily. We can't. We suck. They will destroy Apple. That will be the first shot across the bow of the United States. I guarantee you, folks, listen to me. If you're sitting in Apple going, I told Doc, I'm like, yeah, dude, be careful. This is coming, ladies and gentlemen. This will be one of those ones where I'll sit here and go, man, I love to be wrong. I'm not going to be wrong. Eric says, Wiz, do you think China would really kick Apple out? The answer is yes. Isn't it a big business for them? Eric, do you think China gives one shit about Apple? They've warned us. Guys, when the manager of whatever that Houston basketball team said, oh, the Uyghurs are getting, killed in China, even LeBron James said the dude needed to be fired. China went absolutely apeshit. Let me see if I can find it under my I'm not going to waste time. Maybe I'll find this tonight. But guys, it's in my TGO folder here. I have a ton where I know I saved this. Where they were banning iPhone. You couldn't go out in China in iPhone. We got to move on from this. But guys, listen to me. You got to do your strategic brief, because if you're sitting here fat, dumb, and happy in Apple, and China invades and Joe Biden hits them with a ton of economic sanctions, do you think China's going to sit there and go, oh, damn it, we're sorry? Or do you think they're going to folks, this was somebody Google it, September, October of that year that I'm talking about. Tim Cook went to the White House and had lunch with Donald Trump. Do you remember Donald Trump not coming out and saying, Tim Cook came and kissed my ring. Tim Cook begged me not to hit them with another round of tariffs or it's going to destroy Christmas. I remember this. Mine like a snail trap. You got it, Graham. Imagine not having Taiwan semiconductors. One of the reasons they're going to take Taiwan is because of the infrastructure. So anyway, folks, and let alone the absolute horror that war brings. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how's the play? What else is going on? War in Europe. I can't even believe I said that word. Isn't it incredible after World War I? The war to end all wars. Horror, millions of dead and maimed. We'll never do this again, years later, again. How about that scumbag? That's not nice. I apologize for this. How about that good soul, Whoopi Goldberg, yesterday on The View with the hens clucking? The Holocaust, Hitler, they didn't get, the Jews aren't a race. It was two white groups going after each other. Who gives a shit about that? Did you see? Nothing surprises me about what comes out of that woman's mouth until yesterday on The View. Not that I sit here and watch The View. It was news. Hours later, she's like, "Dear world, I'm sorry I said that." No, you're not. Joy Behar, everybody on The View yesterday was like, "Are you nuts?" And she kept doubling down. Like it was two groups of white people going after each other. You mean Adolf Hitler didn't say the Aryan race and the Jews are an inferior race and we have to kill them? She came out and cleaned it up. What am I rambling about? War in Europe, folks. We think we're all civilized and this will never happen again. Over the weekend, Vladimir Putin moved hospital units and blood supplies to the front. Now, if he's playing poker, he's very good. The last mobilization before you send the troops in is the field hospitals and blood. William, what's the probability of China invading Taiwan? Are you saying it's 100%? It is 100%. Folks, and no, let me fix that. You can delete the word invasion. The probability of China taking back Taiwan via all sorts of ways is 100%. Folks, do you know that China is like in Taiwan right now, fomenting dissent, kind of like they're doing in the United States, like Eric Swallowwell sleeping with Fang Fang. So a married congressman who's on the Intelligence Committee sleeps with a Chinese agent committing adultery, and he still has his top secret clearance. Me, I'd be in jail. Dianne Feinstein's driver of 20 years was a Chinese agent. They have all sorts of people in Taiwan, like, we should go back to the mainland. Yes, we should. They will take back Taiwan, guys. It's a fact. When I cruised by there in 2 aircraft carriers, we took part in defensive Taiwan exercises, and it ain't going to happen. Yeah, and then he's down here in South Florida on vacation. So, guys, I got to move. Strategic brief, way too long, but since a lot of new folks are in here, I got to give you what's going on, man. If your radar hasn't been looking out at this stuff, get on board Top Gun Options. One of my biggest compliments I've ever gotten, or I get occasionally, is people like, dude, I don't even watch the news anymore. I listen to you to get the news. Thank you for that. It sucks, though, because I'm kind of the Secret Service agent. I have to watch this crap, but I actually enjoy it. Oh, yeah, Nancy Pelosi, her son's under his 6th FBI investigation. Yep, he's got massive ties with China. Yeah, exactly. That's what we call a hostile takeover. They will do a hostile takeover of Taiwan. And if Joe Biden tries any limp-wristed slap back, China will destroy Apple and a bunch of other names. You got it, Karen. The Chinese are very patient. They think in 100-year intervals. We go apeshit about something that happened, 10 minutes ago. And we're very, very tactical, folks. All right, let's go. So market's a little steady. I'm looking at the S&P 500 over here. We're flat, but let's go look at it. Let's roll verted. We were inverted. Now let's roll verted. Does that look like a chart you want to buy? This is the 50-day moving average of the S&P 500. This is the 200-day moving average. Do you know how long we went without a touch of the 200-day moving average? Like a year, the longest in my career. Now, speaking of World War I, trench warfare, these are 2 trenches. The 50-day and the 200-day is a trench. The market does not live in between the moving averages. It doesn't. It's no man's land, or woman's or person's land. Look at under the 50, snap back, under the 50, snap back, under the 50. Right here, right here, right here, smash. The market doesn't live between moving averages. When it broke the 50 up here, I was in a webinar with these members and I told them what? Bearish trades on the S&P 500, bearish trades on the Russell. All the members who did those trades printed money as the market went down. Fantastic. Hell, we did a bearish double vertical, which is there's 3 R's in it. It was really, really, really bearish, and it really, really, really profited. Okay, here's my prediction. My call sign's Wiz, not Nostradamus. Implosion back to the 200, chop. We're going to chop. We ain't snapping back, guys. We can do that, but we're not. Goldman Sachs came out this morning with more bad news. Okay. This is Ponch just wrote something, and when Ponch writes anything, I stop because he's one of the smartest people I know. 5th generation warfare is conducted primarily through non-kinetic military action, such as social engineering, misinformation, cyber attacks, along with emerging technologies such as AI and fully autonomous systems. 5th generation warfare has been described by Daniel Abbott as a war of information and perception. Print that. There's the trailer. So, folks, people asking about the invasion of Taiwan. A physical invasion, I doubt it. You have to believe that the Taiwanese, the Air Force and military that we supply, their F-16s and tanks and everything like that, they try to put up a fight. People are going to die, man. That's death, man. Maiming, destruction. It's horror. But as Ponch just pointed out, China doesn't even have to fire a shot. China is taking over the United States and they don't even have to fire a shot. Maverick, Top Gun. Anybody know what flag is on his leather jacket in the 1986 movie? The flag of Taiwan. Anybody know what flag Paramount Pictures took off of Tom Cruise's jacket for Maverick? You can figure it out. Take a look at what's going on in the United States, folks. Vladimir Putin, allegedly, spent $200,000 on some Facebook ads in the 2020 election. What happened? 4 years of self-destruction, impeachment, Bob Mueller, 19 angry Democrats that didn't find a thing, except not looking into the whole Russia hoax. We didn't look into that. We just looked into here. Good job, Bob. 4 years of a country ripping itself apart. And look what's going on now. I guarantee you Putin and Xi get on a phone call and look at each other and go, dude, are you doing it? No, you're not. Am I? No, you're not doing this to America? Oh, they're doing it to themselves? That's fantastic. Look at the money we're saving. Or 2016, I'm sorry. All right, let's get operational, man, and peel the onion back. Goldman Sachs this morning. Goldman slashes 2022 GDP forecast again. Warns of sharp deceleration in growth. Oh, boy. Recently, folks, remember if you were at Top Gun Options months ago, they were like, 3 rate hikes next year, 2022. 3 rate hikes next year, and the market went crazy down. Then it went up to 4. The market's like, whoa, holy shit, 4 rate increases next year? Goldman Sachs, 5. It's like that game with the baseball bat as a kid, putting your hands on it. Who's going to race each other to the top here? Ladies and gentlemen, 5 rate hikes. We're in it, folks. 1 month is already done. January's over. We're in February. Oh, boy. There's a lot of good. I'm a booger eater. I read this stuff. These charts. If you want, I'll give you this link. This is fantastic. If you need data, I'll give you the data. If you want the Cliff Notes, which got me through college and high school, I'll give them to you. A train wreck. Joe Biden's sophomore year will be an absolute train wreck with a recession and a bear market. Period. Coming true. Bostic, a Fed lieutenant. Okay? The Atlanta Fed head. I told you, or if you weren't here, weeks ago, I said, Dr. Doom from the last big market crash prediction. This guy's like, Paul Volcker did his job right as the Fed Reserve chief. Inflation was raging. You know what he did? He came in with a baseball bat, a point in. If there's ever a fire on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier or in the hangar bay, it is doused immediately. The doors slam and AFFF, this foam, comes in. If you're stuck in there, you're dead. But the aircraft carrier was saved, so sucks for you. You, not me, you have to make a decision about what's going to happen. Oh, great. Chinese cyber there you go. The FBI director talking about Chinese cyber espionage. Let's go back to Ukraine real quick. Did you see what the DNI, whoever, director of national intelligence said, if we kind of really get involved in Ukraine, China's going to unleash some massive cyber attacks. Imagine waking up tomorrow and your brokerage account and all your bank accounts are at zero. Anyway, let's get back to this. But Christopher Wray, the FBI director, should have been fired. There's no country that causes is a bigger threat to the United States cyber attacks. The Chinese government causes damage across a range of industries. How you doing? Anyway, says Fed won't start a recession, but the yield curve says it's too late. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to pat myself on the back again. A year to a year and a half ago, I said, stop pumping money into the market, Fed. If you want a soft landing, start your descent now. Jerome Powell up at 40,000 feet, drinking, everybody's partying. I'm like, dude, you have to start. You want a soft landing? Start downhill. No more liquidity. And now you need to put the speed brakes out, raise interest rates. Jerome didn't listen to me. Here we are. So you have to make a decision. Either the Fed is going to do their job. Are they Adolf Hitler or are they the mullahs? Which one are they? Because they said, Jerome Powell, let's go look at the S&P 500. Jerome Powell has said what? Here, he said inflation's not transitory. Oh, shit. Here, he said we got to taper quicker and raise interest rates. Slam, slam. So do we believe Jerome Powell when he says he's going to do his job now since he's been failing at it? Or, because if he does his job, folks, implosion, bounce, implosion. That's going to happen. I'm part of groups that say if we go down another 5 to 10%, Jerome's going to call uncle. Okay? Yeah, I'll give you this one too. When we do our full throttle training, I go through all kind of my intel sources, folks. But yeah, Zero Hedge is a great site. Small caps are already pricing in a recession. Yeah. What was it? A couple weeks ago, Let's take a look at the Russell, folks. So the S&P 500 has how many names in it? Not a trick question. 500. The Russell 2000 has what? 2,000. Kind of small to mid caps. This is the broader economy. Take a look at the Russell. La 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 la. Oh boy. La 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 la. Rising interest rates, ladies and gentlemen, is going to destroy companies, especially companies that are leveraged to the hilt. What's the other reason Jerome Powell might not raise interest rates like this? We're bankrupt. If Jerome Powell raises interest rates 25 basis points, our debt goes up like $1 billion. If he goes up to where we should be, if he really, really, really tamps down inflation, I mean, it's embarrassing to say this. We're broke, folks. As a country, we're broke. We're going into deeper debt. And to get us out of this shit show, we actually have to raise interest rates, which is making our dude, we're done. We are spiraling downhill. I've been the guy at the end of the exit ramp on the I-95 interstate going, the end is near. That dude's going to be right one day. Yeah, and yelling too. Yeah, she is. No, it's too late, guys. Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to print money to pay for the interest rate increase. So, guys, we have to make a decision here. Either we believe the Fed, and he is going to act. He's said it, Wiz. I know he's said it. That's what the market is freaking out about. So, do we think Now there are some. I'll teach you all my whizisms and Wall Street isms. Sell the rumor, buy the news. Right? We're selling off on him raising interest rates. When he finally gets around to doing it next month, it's already priced in. Could happen. But remember, folks, we're talking about companies here. When tomorrow afternoon, man, or no, Thursday, Amazon reports. Holy crap. And they are all over the place, the estimates, from like they're not even going to make a penny to they printed money. Those are the smart money, folks, right? The smart money isn't even close to a consensus on what Amazon's going to say. What am I rambling about? I'm rambling about if I was a CEO on an earnings call today, I'd be like, the last quarter sucked and this year's going to suck. There's another wizism that says if you can't hit the ball over the net, lower the net. Apple is a serial under promise and over deliver. I think we're going out of business next quarter. Breaking news, iPhone sales through the roof. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Wall Street, we all wink at each other like, well, duh. But folks, Steve Wynn, the guy that runs Wynn Resorts or ran Wynn Resorts years ago, said, I feel like this is un-American. I can borrow billions and billions of dollars for like a couple $100 million. It's a disgrace. The chickens are coming home to roost. All of these companies over-levered in a higher interest rate environment is going to destroy them, period. Okay, now let's get tactical and start trading. Again, that brief was way too long. Usually that's about 15 to 20 minutes. But since we have new people in here, I need to really do a little bit of a more in-depth brief. Let's go take a look at what I call our barometer, our altimeter, whatever you want to call it, the fear gauge. This is the VIX. For those of you who are new to options, the VIX is the volatility index. Volatility is a word I like to pull out at cocktail parties, even though I don't drink anymore, to do what? Sound smart. Delete the word volatility and insert the word uncertainty. This is the market's uncertainty indicator. Look, does this look like a stock? If you're new, for all the new folks in here, stocks do what? I just showed you the S&P 500 like did this in the past year with some pullbacks. What does the VIX look like? Beep, 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 beep. It's good sound effects, Wiz. It's a heart rate monitor. The VIX is something that returns to the norm. Exactly, Goose. Jerome Powell is walking the line between us going broke and the imploding dollar and inflating the debt out. Folks, you can't. I don't want any of this to happen. I root for the best in everybody and everything, and even in my enemies, man, they're not my enemy. They have a soul and they're a good person, right? I want Jerome Powell to win. I want him to grease this landing. Man, we are in a 777 going straight downhill. The engines have flown off, and he's still sitting there going, I got this. I hope you do, Sully, because it doesn't look like you do. We, as an options trader, as a fighter pilot, have to plan for the worst. So when it doesn't happen, we're pleasantly surprised. And if it does happen, we are printing money or we're good to go. I never walked out on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier going, I'm the world's best fighter pilot. That's the day you die. I walked down the flight deck going, how am I going to get killed today and how am I going to avoid that? So look at the VIX, folks. Let me go out to 2 years. Look at, let's go out a little bit more. Anybody know what that is? This is when Wiz predicted it right there. When Donald Trump looked on television in Davos, Switzerland, and lied to us all, I predicted this was going to happen, and we nailed it. This right here made millionaires. Okay? Look at this one, man. Something similar is coming. Let me just clean this up right away. Markets go up over time. The only people who pick the perfect top of the market and the perfect bottom are dudes at cocktail parties who are liars. Nobody sounds an air horn at the top. Everybody out of the pool. And nobody picks the bottom perfectly, except me right there. And you can watch the recording the one time. So let's bring the VIX back in because look at what's going on. Market implodes, volatility goes up. Market recovers, volatility goes down. Market implodes again a little bit, VIX goes up. Uncertainty goes up. And then this is that really big recent pullback in the market. And then what's happening here? We're pulling back a little bit. This is why you are here today. This is worth what you paid to get in here, which was nothing for the new folks. Once something is known, it's known. So even if the market starts imploding more, volatility can stabilize or come in. It returns to its mean. Orange on the side of a big bowl, pasta bowl. Roll it in there, it goes, and then it stops in the center. It reverts to its mean. What happened? JP just gave me a great compliment about the Brexit. I printed money with the Brexit. You ready for this? I got it wrong. I'm like, they're going to vote to stay. They ain't going to leave. What happened? Going into the Brexit vote, volatility went through the roof, and then they voted to what? Leave. Oh my God, that's bad. Why'd the volatility implode, Wiz? Because it was known. I told you last night why I love trading I love gridlock in Washington. Why? Government shutdown. We're run out of money in 2 days. Volatility goes up. And then I know the government ain't shutting down forever, which would be fantastic. And then when it opens, the VIX would implode. I hate using this term, but I am going to use it because most of the time trading volatility is like shooting fish in a barrel. Write this down. When volatility is cheap, you buy it. When volatility is expensive, you sell it. Why am I doing that with my hands? Because on the pits, on the floor, it's like the flight deck of an aircraft carrier. We communicate with hand signals. This means buy. This means buy, right? And usually you're writing on your trade ticket with the other hand. Buy with both hands means sell with both hands means push it away from you. I want to sell this. When volatility is expensive, you sell it. Does that make sense? Hi, Wiz. Learn VXX double vertical trading from you. I am happy to hear that, man. That puts a smile on my face. So right now, well, let's go take a look at what we did yesterday. Even though we were in solo Amazon, I did what? Because Amazon earnings are this week. Other than managing my short position, I haven't looked at Amazon yet. What's it doing? Yeah. We looked at a bearish trade on volatility. Let's go. Where was it? Solo Amazon. So I'm going to talk through this trade because I still like this one for today. For the new folks, what did we do yesterday? We did what's called a bear call spread. Here's a couple ways to potentially trade this volatility, right? There is a distinct possibility. Look, volatility can stay elevated, chop around, and then boom, and then it kind of got back down here. There's a distinct possibility, folks, that volatility could stay up here. If Amazon has a big miss Thursday and like takes the market down with it, volatility could go up, guys, in the blink of an eye. So again, trading involves risk. You could also do a trade, and I'm going to teach you in full throttle training, that is range bound, right? When you buy a stock, what do you want to happen? It to go up. You can make money 3 ways, I call it. The buy, hope, and pray. You buy a stock, you hope it goes up, and if it doesn't, you pray. Not with options. We can make money if a stock's going up. We can make money on a stock if it's going sideways, or make money if it's going down. That is beautiful. Holy shit, man. You can make money trading options when something's moving sideways. Yup. It's called an iron condor. This is kind of a football field. The dude can run or the lady can run all over the field. Just don't step out of bounds, man. That's a tactic I will teach you called an iron condor. But let's just start with the basics. So a good proxy to trade volatility is what's called VXX. It's the Barclays short. It's an ETF, right? Technically. So yesterday, I put on a trade that expires out to Friday, and I'll step through it here. Let me go look at it. 23 and a half, 24. All right, let me go back here, and I'll explain all of this. 23 and a half is right about there, and then the 24. So I have a trade. I put a roof on volatility yesterday, okay? I believe between now and Friday, the volatility is going to come in, meaning go down a little bit or stabilize. right? However, let's go back to the S&P 500. I do believe, because we had this oversold, overbought, and I think we're going to come back down to this 200-day moving average. Even with us coming back down, if it's super violent, the VIX will go up. But if it's kind of like expected, most of the people I talked to this morning are like, yeah, I think you're right. It ain't going back up to the 50 anytime soon, but we'll probably come back and find some footing. This is emotion. Look at all the drill bits here, folks. Look at down here underneath. Look at that one. Boom, bang. Look at this is volatile, right? This is volatility. The market is searching for a little bit of stability. So my commit criteria. So strategic mindset. Let's go through our trade plan. Nice segue, Wiz. You nailed it. Thank you. Strategic mindset. I'm bearish. Very bearish. Target volatility, commit criteria between now and Friday. I believe the market will stabilize. I believe it pulls back, but not a slam. So that means volatility should stabilize and come in. Either stay where it's at, elevated a little bit, right? The volatility can stay, people can stay a little nervous, or we can go, it's kind of known that things suck. Isn't that funny? Volatility can come in when people look at the market looks at each other and goes, well, the shit show's here. One of the best movies I've ever seen. I love this movie called No Country for Old Men. Weird movie. Great movie. Big shootout at the beginning, and there's like a bunch of dead bodies in the desert, and Tommy Lee Jones and his deputy are looking around, and all these dead bodies and dead dogs, and the deputy goes, well, it's a mess, ain't it, Sheriff? And Tommy Lee Jones go, it'll do till the mess gets here. That's kind of the feeling I have right now. This will do till the mess gets here, right? The mess is coming, and it's February. We're in it. So, Goose, the over-under, yeah, the volatility moves are within the stated ATR and internal implied vol, even though the overall VIX is down. Exactly. Individual stocks implied vol is elevated in the most traded stocks, in Apple, and Amazon, and Microsoft. Exactly. All right, so let's go take a look at a trade. Actually, let me brief you on the trade that we did yesterday. What's that currently priced at? Oh, wow. Holy shit, look at this, guys. So yesterday we did a bear call spread. I'll explain this trade to you. We sold the 23.5 calls. If you have no idea what that means, that's me just saying by Friday, I don't think the VXX is going to be above 23.5. What if you're wrong, Wiz? Ukraine gets invaded tomorrow and the VIX goes through the roof. Well, that's going to suck. But I bought 24 calls. I bought the calls above 23.5. So let's go back to the chart. I put a roof on it. I sold the 23.5 calls right here. Right? That's me saying you ain't going above 23.5 by Friday. I think this is going to happen, or at least level. If I'm wrong and something bad happens and the VIX volatility turns around and does that, I bought upside calls. So technically I'm long volatility at 24 and above. That's kind of my hedge. I'm bearish on volatility, or at least neutral. I'm using calls, and the tactic is called a spread. This is called a bear call spread. Okay, so look at what this spread is worth right now. 4 cents. Okay, because look what happened between yesterday and today. It went down. Look at the trade. Men lie, numbers don't. We were filled on this trade at 14 cents yesterday. The trade is currently valued at 4 cents. That's 10 cents of profit. Doesn't sound like a lot. Wiz, how many contracts did you do? 150. Somebody do that with me. You ready? 150 times 10 cents. $1,500 profit in one day. Can I get a hell yeah? I would close this trade out, guys. You're welcome. $1,500 in a day. Men lie, numbers don't. Let's just break this down. This was yesterday, January 31st at 10:48 in the middle of our solo Amazon brief. I got filled at 10 cents. The trade is now at 3 cents. What is 11 times 150 contracts? $1,650 we made in a day. Rocco, yeah, I banked that. Thank you. You're welcome. Then let's take a look at a new one. You ready for this? My commit criteria, step 3 of the trade plan that you have printed out next to the desk, is the same. I think we come in a little bit more. Warning, Will Robinson. If Amazon blows it up Thursday to the downside, the market could, again, before we look at any trade, I might actually look at a bullish trade right now on volatility. Remember, I think we're going to come back here. Remember, as the market goes down, it tends to make volatility go up. They have an inverse relationship. So we could either do, maybe that'll be the tactic tonight we talk about in Iron Condor. Maybe I can brief that tonight. But let's at least get the bearish trade on. Maybe at this point, a 21.5, 22, or a 21. All right, so here's what I'm mumbling about. New trade. Looking to sell again, and as I'm talking, volatility is going down and the S&P 500 is rallying. I'm doing this. I'm manifesting this into existence. So this was the old spread that you should be closing for a $1,700 profit right now. You're welcome. How about a new one right here? Maybe like the 21 and a half bear call spread. Let's go build this trade together. Even if you don't know anything about options, folks, walk through me. I'm putting a roof. The roof would be the 21 and a half. How do I cement a roof in? I sell calls. I will teach you this in full throttle training. I just don't sell these naked because naked means I don't have protection on top. If I sold these 21 and a half calls and the market imploded and volatility went up, I would be on the hook for unlimited losses. No, thank you. So if I'm putting the roof on here, let's put a roof on top of the roof in case volatility does spike. This is kind of my hedge, right? Sell the 21 and a half call, and as a backup in case it does explode, remember we want it to implode in this bearish trade. Okay, now I'll do 150 contracts. I'm going to teach you that in this portfolio I have $100,000, right? This is our primary live trade brief training account. You get 100 grand from E-Trade. Thanks. My SOP says I don't want to risk more than 5% on any one trade. Where'd you come up with that? 32 years of doing this. In the past, I didn't have an SOP. I really like this trade. I'm going to risk 10 grand. I'm nuts. That was stupid. Now I don't do that. That was a long time ago. 5% allows me what? To live the fight another day. If you're trading really big, you can get blown out and you're done. We don't do that. You could be 2.5%. Again, I can't tell you what to do. I'm giving you an example of what I personally am doing. Nice run in the S&P 500, and I should have had this trade on because this trade's going down in value. So let's do this. Sell 150 contracts. I'm going to show you how much risk that is in a second. Sell 150 of Friday's 21 and a half calls and buy as a hedge in case it explodes the 22s. It was at 12 cents, but the S&P is rallying. Look at this. We just could have made about $300 as I've been rambling. But let's go look at the max potential loss. This trade is risking $5,700 to make $1,800. Now, if you're sitting here going, holy crap, man, I don't have $5,700 to risk. Most people don't. That's based on 150 contracts. Let's go 75. That would risk $2,900 to make $900. Hey man, making $900 a week ain't too shabby, is it? Nice run out of the S&P. Look at this, man. I'm not joking. Look at this. Let's look at the S&P 500. Since I started talking about this trade, that volatility is going to come in the market. Look at this. The market has rallied. Let me overlay the VXX on top of this. This is why when I start talking about trade, look at this. The VXX is down here going down as the S&P 500 is going up. This is, sometimes my performance is worse than TGO members because I sit here and map out the trade, and so smart people in the background are going and doing it. Perfect example, live. Let's go back to VXX because I need to talk through this trade and build it, right? Because we are building, I'm doing training, right? This is a training environment, right? All right, so What's the credit? Remember, whenever you sell something, you get paid. You sell your house, you sell a car, you sell something, you bring in a credit, you get paid. We're bringing in a credit of, in this case, I was trying when we started talking about this for 12 cents. Okay. What do we want? Technically, we want all 12 of these cents in our pocket by the time this trade expires on Friday. Okay. I don't get greedy though. Pigs get slaughtered. 7, 8, 9. Now I'm briefing you on some of my SOP. If I am looking at a 70, 80, 90% profit on this credit that I take in, close the trade. Do not turn a 70, 80, 90% winning trade into a 100% loser. Let's say Friday morning, you're looking at this trade and it's down here at like 3 cents and you're like, man, I made $750, but I'm greedy. I want the other $150 because it's going to expire today and volatility is not going to go up. I guarantee you at 3:59, Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine. Volatility goes through the roof, and you go from a $750 profit to a $2,000 loss. Count on it. Why? Because you're looking at a guy who used to do that type of shit. So on your screen right now is one of my SOPs with a credit spread. Pigs get slaughtered. Nobody's gone broke taking a profit. If you're looking at a 70, write this down, 70, 80, 90% profit on the credit you took in, close it. You know, and I'm over on time. I should have done this in the training tonight, but so let's. That's a little sporty. If you really, where's 21? We're at 21 right now. You got to really, really, really think volatility keeps going lower to move these strikes down to 21. If you moved it down to 21 right now, you're risking 27 to make 11. And remember, I changed the contracts down to 75. Let's look at 150. Because volatility's going right, I get it's going right down right now, folks, but it's Tuesday morning, man. There's a lot of room between now and Friday afternoon. 150 contracts, you'd be risking 5,300 to make 2,300. Okay, I Wiz wouldn't do that. This one is a little bit more my speed. Okay, now we haven't even looked at this. Look at this, Chris. 83% taken this morning. Thanks, Wiz. You are welcome, Chris. That's my job. Let's talk about bad. Wiz, you haven't even pressed fire on this trade yet. That's because I'm going through my trade plan that I gave you for free. It's worth $45, man. Actually, it's priceless. But look at this. Let's talk about the bad on this screen. If I get filled at a credit of 12 cents, I want all 12 of those cents. I want them. This trade goes to zero. What if it starts going up, meaning volatility starts going up and this trade starts increasing in value? 15 cents, 20. That's not good. Let's use political science math, poor kid from New Jersey, naval aviator math. I just double the credit that I take in. 12 doubled, you ready for this, is 24. If this trade increases in value, and that sounds good, doesn't it? It's increased in value. In this case, it ain't. Let me use a quick analogy. When you sell something, you want it to go down in value. What? The Ferrari dealer in Fort Lauderdale. You go there in the middle of your midlife crisis, I'm not talking about me, maybe, and you buy that $250,000 Ferrari. The second the buyer, you pull out of that parking lot, it's worth about 150 grand. There's theta. There's what we call time decay. Everybody who's done that knows it. Depreciation. When you sell something, the Fort Lauderdale dealership, that doesn't look like that because they give away money. It looks like that you get free espresso because it ain't free. The seller loves you peeling out of the parking lot. They love that. Because if you get halfway home and your significant other calls and says, yeah, your midlife crisis is over, take the car back. You go back into that parking lot and go, hey, man, can you buy the car back? They'll be like, sure, it's 150 grand. It was just 250. Yeah, you're an idiot. So 20 folks, you should have this all written down in your trade plan. Now, I should have had this up. I just stepped through everything in the trade plan naturally. But you, if you're new to options and trading, need to have that printed out and you write it out. Okay. So I didn't even go to analyze this trade yet, and I know when I'm getting out for max profit or when I'm ejecting for minimum loss. Doesn't that rock? Now let's analyze this trade. Analyze. This trade, if you do 150 contracts, is risking $5,600 to make 1,800. Underneath, probabilities. There's some dark magic going on here, so let's press the I believe button. Using at the money volatility in the options of VXX right now, it's changing by the second. There's a 64% probability that you make $1,800 by Friday. That's pretty cool. Well, let's look at the bad. 29%, 28% probability that you get kicked in the teeth. But that probability is zero because you're going to manage this trade. This spread, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen is called a bear call spread, makes money 3 out of 4 ways. That's pretty cool. Listen to me. You see this dotted line right here? That's currently the price of VXX. How do we make money 3 out of 4 ways, Wiz? Well, guess what? There's the price of VXX. VXX goes down. Cha-ching. VXX can just kind of hang out where it is right now to Friday. Cha-ching. VXX can even go up a little bit, folks, right to there, which is what we call the break even. As long as the VXX stays below 2162 by Friday, folks, you make money, some money. Does that make sense? Give me a hell yeah. I have 2 of these spreads on, and the way E-Trade has paired these together is wrong. I have the 23.5, 24, and then the 25, 25.5. For some reason, they goon these spreads up. This is the training account, which does not put a smile on my face. So, but I mean, look at month to date. It's today. I'm up $1,800 on 2 volatility trades. In this type of environment, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. I did the survey last night. Half of you were bearish, half of you were volatile. In this type of environment, folks, I am a pig in shit. I love volatility trades right now. Doc Handle and all my other, but hey, where's the bottom? What do I do? How about you start trading some damn volatility, man? When you got a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? I don't have a hammer. I got a whole toolkit, and the toolkit right now says start trading volatility. When the market was going up like this last year, guys, you know how many volatility trades I did? Probably a goose egg. Maybe on a couple of the like pullbacks, you know, as it kept going up, we do a quick one. But there was, folks, when the market is going either up or down like this, folks, volatility is stable. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't. The market right now is like a Joe Biden press conference. It mumbles all over the place, and we have no idea where we're going. James Gallagher, hell yes. William of Wallace, William of Adams. Why not buy a 21 put? Why not? You could. Folks, if you believe that volatility is going to go down between now and Friday, buy a put down here. That's the most basic tactic, wouldn't it be that? Go buy a put. Okay? And again, I'm way long. It's supposed to be an hour, but since it's a free brief, I had to take about 15 minutes at the beginning to talk to our free folks. You, all the free folks, this is what's funny. People are like, do you have a trial? I'm like, you're in it. I gave you 4 free trade briefs. Ain't no trial. This is the trial. If you believe in a snapback, Wiz, the freakout's over with. Everybody knows Jerome Powell's going to raise interest rates, and it's baked in. Then volatility is really going to come in, isn't it? So, William, you are correct. You could go buy a put. Now, let's do the other side of William's trade. This is what I love about being an options trader, or you being you. I love you being you. If you just sat here for an hour and 11, make a wish. If you just sat here for an hour and 11 minutes and said, everything this guy just said is bullshit, and I believe the exact opposite is going to happen, guess what? There's a trade for that. You can do the exact opposite of everything that I say. I enjoy that. I love being questioned and challenged. That makes me better. So, Wiz, you're wrong, man. Volatility is going to explode between now and Friday. Do a bull. Maybe we'll do that tonight. We'll do the second half of this brief tonight. I love how this works. Maybe tonight we talk through a bullish spread. Look at this. Volatility spiked and then it came down. Jerome's going to raise interest rates. We're a month away from an interest rate increase and the taper, the punch bowl, this big punch bowl of liquidity. Jerome Powell has just gently said, yeah, I'm taking that to the kitchen. Last call. There's a bunch of drunks running around this market right now, folks. Usually not until last call and the lights come on do people start getting pissed, right? So if you think that we might get a big spike in volatility, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about that tonight. Let's go look at the VIX, folks, and go out a little bit. Look at mid-March. You know what? Let me open the strikes here. So what's the VIX at? 24 right now. Okay, there's 24. Holy crap. Look at this, folks. Look at the open interest in volume in upside calls on the VIX. Holy crap. Let's go a little further. Holy shit. Look, folks, there are people buying VIX 80 calls. Look at 90. Holy crap. Look at the 70s and 75s, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on your screen, and I'm eating into what I'm going to say tonight, look at this. This obviously has to be people like who? Like buddies of mine who have massively long portfolios. That's their hedge fund. We buy and hold. That's boring. The amount of options knowledge they have is this. Wiz, I'm freaking the hell out. My longs are going to get destroyed. How do I protect them? Buy some calls on the VIX. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, right? Look, the VIX is at 23, guys. What's that? 46. People are betting that the VIX double. Let's go look at the chart, man, to give this some perspective. Let's look at a chart of volatility. We got to go out to 6 months. We got to go out to 2 years, guys. There are people, institutions that believe in March when Jerome hikes, the VIX will be at 80. Now, again, a lot of that's got to be hedging, or a lot of that is what? A guy like me going, the end hasn't even started, man. The market's imploded. We've kind of found a little bit of stability here, and there's another leg down. This is almost like the COVID crash. Subtle plug for the book that I wrote. Wow. You just saw this with me. I haven't looked at VIX upside calls out to March in a couple weeks. Just did. Holy crap. Unbelievable. China takes Taiwan at 80. Yeah, exactly. Parker, Putin invades. Folks, I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it. Doing this for 30, 32 years, military incursions are a brief freak out in the market, and then it usually, I hate saying this, but we forget about it. People are going to be getting killed. People are going to be dying. People are going to be turned into hair, teeth, and eyeballs, and we're not going to care. At the bottom, March of 2020, I'm like, I came up with the word COVID fatigue. I'm like, the market has COVID fatigue. We're over it. People dying and everything like that. The market just kept going up. We were done with COVID, even though Democrats aren't, especially the governor of California and the district attorney in Los Angeles at the football game with no masks. Big indoor. It's the law, Wiz, in California. Unless you're a liberal elite, you can do whatever you want. Let them eat cake. Anyway, let me get. So you're welcome. So that would be the volatility I would trade. James, Wiz, what do we do on Friday with the trade? Close it Friday or let it expire? James, you close the trade. It's a good question. I'm going to repeat myself. 70, 80, 90. If you are looking at a 70, 80, 90% profit on that credit that you took in, close the damn trade. I guarantee you, James, on Friday, if you're like, hey, man, I'm looking at a 90% profit, at 359, Joe Biden will whatever, and the volatility will explode, and you will lose 100% of your trade, of your risk. Don't do it. Stand on the shoulders of a guy like me who has an SOP who says, don't do it. The top of my slide says what, folks? That my guiding precepts at Top Gun Options are what? Discipline and risk management equals superior execution. Bob, if they put restaurant owners in jail for letting in non-mask wearers in, yeah, exactly. No, man, come on, guys, you figured this out by now. All those rules are for schmucks like us, man. They're not for the liberal elite. AOC, parties down here in Miami, maskless. She gave Ted Cruz a big ration of shit when that like winter storm hit and he was in like Cabo. Oh, that's not leadership. Ted Cruz flees to warmer climates. AOC's district is a COVID ground zero, and she's down in Miami partying, and she got COVID. Okay. I didn't ignore. I'm glad you asked again because I was just getting ready to bail out of here and leave. Could hanging with AOC really be considered a party? Dude, you get a gold star. You know what? I am going to do this because I got emails last night from people who want to get in today. So I'm done. Yeah, I don't do the tease thing. I didn't build this slide yet. Does anybody? Let me ask that because I'll sit here for a couple more minutes and give you the link and explain what we're doing. Or do you want me to save that tonight? Does anybody want to join now? Quick reminder: and this ain't no lie, man. We get 50 and we close the doors. We don't take 51. We don't take 52. And the reason I know people want to join is because it's a different link from the last Full Throttle. Why? Because I sweeten the pot. You're actually going to get more now if you become a Full Throttle member. And obviously current Full Throttle members can either upgrade or does anybody want to join now or should I wait for tonight? AOC ain't over COVID. I love it. William, is playing short on volatility better than going short on SPY? They're similar but different. And maybe tonight, William, I will answer that. But I've gone an hour and 18. I'll write that down for tonight. So make sure you attend the training session for tonight. You know what? Yeah, I am going to do that. You got it. All right, good. Let me kind of break out. Here's what we do here at Top Gun Options. I came up with this. Here's what 2022 is going to look or does look like, folks. So Top Gun Options, folks, we have training and execution. And what lies in between them is what we call a Chinese wall, right? When I built the Options News Network at Peak 6 Investments in Chicago, they were kind of the mothership, right? I was a media company, the CNBC for options, and we had a broker dealer over here called Options House that I helped build. I built both these, man. But in between us had to reside what's called a Chinese wall, right? Because you can't be giving investment advice and all sorts of stuff. So we have a Chinese wall kind of here between what we do as far as training and then what I do as far as execution. Okay, so let's talk about the left side of this chart. Before you do anything, folks, in a training environment in the simulator building, right? I learned about aerodynamics and all sorts of stuff about the airplane. You didn't run out to the airplane. You ran over to the simulator building, and they put you through your paces, emergencies, carrier landings, weapons employment, everything. Before you get to the fleet and fly an airplane, you have to go through your training. Full Throttle, what you're in right now or what you're going to sign up for, is the biggest part of our training. 4 briefs a week, right? 3 briefs technically, and 8 training lectures every quarter. 4 times a year, I do 8 briefs, man. At night, I used to grab a glass of wine. Now I just grab my wheatgrass or whatever. And we train. Also, I'm not going to cloud everybody. It's not super confusing. We do have a service called Solo Amazon where we just trade Amazon. And then we have a product coming in a couple weeks called Tomcat Charts with one of the smartest. He's like a punch. I don't know what it is about these cheesy Tomcat guys, man. They wear those polo shirts under their flight suit. Shooter, cool guy. One of the smartest guys I know, him and Punch. But Bart, who I did my journey with last week, is going to be launched. He looks at charts, man. He's a certified market analyst, technician, instructor pilot. He's a genius with the numbers and shit like that. He had this Netflix call, whatever. Not going to cloud you. You're here for this. This is what you want to sign up for. It's called Full Throttle. Okay. Now, if you want to have some practical application, over here we have investment clubs. They're SDIS. I call them self-directed investment squadrons. We're all in it together. I post every trade that I do, my personal account, my training account, and so does all the other members. I came up with these at the height of the COVID crash. People are like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, well, you know what? Let's make an investment club. The SEC blesses investment clubs. So I'm not giving investment, but we're all kind of in this together. So why am I bringing this up? Because now this is what if you join Full Throttle, you can get into the hunters, right? So I'll show you that in a couple minutes. You can either just do Full Throttle. Wiz, I'm just ready to do some training. I need Full Throttle. I ain't ready for like the practical application. You can do a Full Throttle monthly membership or an annual membership. We'll talk about that in a second. It's a hell of a lot cheaper if you do the annual right now. Okay? But if you're ready for a little bit of both, you're ready for I want to be in the training environment, but I still want to see what everybody's doing live. You're ready to join what we call the hunters. Why is the hunters? Deborah, wait until tonight, please. I'll do both. I'll brief this again tonight, Deborah, because I literally came up with this slide as I was having my coffee before I got on the brief. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I mapped it out this way. So I'll brief it again tonight, Deborah, if you got a split. Tomcat charts is expensive for the right expensive execution services. JM, I don't know what that meant. It's actually not going to be expensive. I think it's going to be the same price as solo Amazon, which is kind of underpriced. Let's stay with Full Throttle, guys. This is what you're in right now, and this is what you want. Okay, so that's right today. So Full Throttle has changed if you want it to change, right? You can just join Full Throttle monthly, the 3 briefs and the 8 training sessions every quarter, paper trading and training, getting up to speed, or you can join Full Throttle today and also be in the hunters, getting all my trades live. I'll show you what it looks like in a couple minutes. So there's 2 choices. So here we go. Let me erase that and keep going. This was from last night. Real quick, men lie, numbers don't. You in the handout section over on your little control panel, it has all of the Excel sheets that has every one of my trades in my personal account and my paper trading account. Men lie, numbers don't. So we keep track of every trade that I fire, right? Not just the ones in the paper trading account, not just the ones in my real account. I do both, baby. That's how transparent we are. Solo Amazon did good. Primary live trade brief sucked. I'm getting better. I made a stupid foray into Bitcoin. The guy who says it's a Ponzi scheme and this and that, the guy who says all of that bullshit was like, let me dip my toe. Bang. Lesson learned. Weekly options, 82 grand, and then 163 with the most conservative portfolio, my retirement portfolio, 163,000 bucks last. This is the Q4. This is ending my birthday, December 31st. Okay, so that's, and men lie, numbers don't. Look at all the Excel sheets. Hold on. Let me go, let me get to the slides to map out what we're doing. All right. Because I want to give you a quick brief on what you're getting. And a quick reminder, man, that 80% of our members work, right? Wiz, I'm not available during these live trade briefs. Guess what, man? It's okay. 80% of our members work. You're going to get access to the replay. But here's the schedule of the Full Throttle training I'm going to do. I think we start next Monday night, starting at like 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. 2 nights a week for 4 weeks. You're going to get 8 sessions, man. There are places that charge a couple grand for this type of training, like on old DVD. I didn't even know DVDs still existed or VCR tapes. Like dude in front of a whiteboard from 20 years ago, and they still sell this shit. It's crap. I do live ones every quarter, 8, 8, 8, and 8. Why? Because the tactics stay the same. A double vertical was a double vertical 20 years ago, and it'll be a double vertical 20 years from now. What changes is the battlefield. Trading's a form of combat, man. So we do new training to do it, right? All right, so let me just go to the damn, because everybody's asking for the damn link. Because I was going to map out what you get with Full Throttle, but you guys kind of know what you get with Full Throttle. You get access to the 8 training, you get access to the 4 live trade briefs. So here is the deal. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT-hunters. So this is going to blow some of you away. This is going to blow some of you away. If you just want the left side of that chart, I just want to be in Full Throttle. The 3 live trade briefs every week, text alerts, email alerts, the replays, and the 8 training sessions. It's only $295 a month. Okay? This is the Full Throttle training program. Still a little underpriced in my opinion, but we are, this is it. That's if you want to train and everything like that. Now, if you want access, so this is the hunters, okay? The hunters, this is my admin platform. There's 29 folks in there right now. Let me show you what it looks like on the web page. So when I place a trade, folks, it goes in here instantaneously. When Goose places a trade, when everybody else, this is a live feed. This is a live feed. You get access to my trade as soon as I do it. Otherwise, it's a text. Oh, I'm signed out. Otherwise, it's a text and email alert. It takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to put a text together and the screenshot of the trade, and boom, boom, boom. And you only get what we covered in the live trade brief. You don't get what I'm personally doing all the time. That's why we came up with what we call the hunters, right? So if you just do Full Throttle, we do about 2, 3, 4 trades. I'm not even going to give you a number. Some weeks we do 0 because that's what's required. Some weeks we do 4 trades. It just depends. But those come out via text and email. Me, I do about 20 trades a week so in my personal account. So that's why we came up with what we call the hunters. Okay? So the hunters is a perfect layer to your Full Throttle training. Let me go back to that chart to show you kind of the what I'm getting at here. Yep, the link is in the chat box. I just put it in there. But this cool chart really kind of maps out the Full Throttle. This really is the execution. It's both. You get the training and you get the execution. Where'd that damn chart go? It's go.topgunoptions.com/FT-hunters. Yeah, this one. Here you go. Sorry. So here's what I'm mapping out right now. For $295 a month, you get access to the Full Throttle. That's $295. Or the annual price was on there as well. You save a hell of a lot of money with the annual. So you can either just do this, or you can do this, the Hunters, which gives you live. You're in an investment club, but you also get the training. This is why I came up with this. Because people were like, dude, can I do both? And the answer is yes. The Hunters, ladies and gentlemen, the Hunters used to just be $497 and you'd have to pay Full Throttle. So it was like $700 total. Done. Today, that gets wiped away, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you want to do. Previously to today, this is why I'm so happy. Eli, you click this one. If you're a current Full Throttle member monthly, click here to upgrade. You're welcome. Exactly. So guys, here's the math. If in the old days, before me talking right now, you had to pay $295 a month, and then if you wanted in the Hunters, it was $497. That's real quick. That's before today. You had to pay $794 a month for both of these. I'm done with that. First of all, I want my company to look like this. 3 things. I hated all the mouse eats the cheese and rocket fires. We're done. Clarity now, folks. You just want the Full Throttle. You can always upgrade, folks. You can always, hey, Wiz, I want to add on the Hunters right now. Great. We're here for you. But Full Throttle monthly, $295. You want the Hunters and Full Throttle monthly, it's only $497, man. That is an effing steal. And there were people who, before today, were just in the Hunters. Congratulations. I just gave you monthly access into Full Throttle. And I started mainly because a guy last week was like, dude, I'm in the Hunters. Where's all my training? I'm like, that wasn't included. He's like, well, I'm like, you know what? Done. I'm not a charity, but at the end of the day, folks, I'm about putting the ladder down and helping people out. So you're welcome. This is what I came up with. If you want access to the Self-Directed Investment Club, all my trades 24/7 live, and all your fellow members that are in there, $497. If you want just the normal what we do here at TGO, man, text alerts, email alerts, just do the $295. And obviously over here, man, if you're a political science major, $29.95 for an annual. You ready for this? It's a 50% discount. How do you get to that, Wiz? So Full Throttle annual was $29.95. For people who wanted to do the Hunters along with that, it was $497 a month just for the Hunters times 12. Wow. Not anymore. I'm going to throw in the Hunters. It's a fantastic deal. You're absolutely right. Larry, current Full Throttle members. If you are a current Full Throttle member month to month and you want to upgrade into the Hunters, you click the middle one. You upgrade into the Hunters. This will automatically take you out of your current month to month subscription and get you access to the Hunters. Real quick, for all, because we're in. This is great. We're getting new members, but we're also upgrading current members who want to be part of the Hunters now. So remember, here's where you find it on the TGO site, folks. Underneath member content, right? Go to Hunters SDIS. Hunters SDIS, Self-Directed Investment Squadron. Okay. Goose is over here right now. Hi, Wiz. Live trade just entered while you talk. Bought Facebook stock a bit ago, a day trade into earnings. So all this stuff, this is Larry, you have an annual membership? Larry, can you say thanks, Wiz? I just saved you $6,000. Right now, Larry, you have access to the Hunters. Isn't that freaking awesome? Thanks, Wiz! Exclamation point. You are welcome, my brother. You are absolutely. This is a no-brainer. I want you all, the Full Throttle Max people, to have access to, first of all of my trades live. Yeah, man, it was maybe it was my journey. I did this on the plane coming home, man. The power of the Holy Spirit was surging through me, baby. I'm like, you know what, man? First of all, I like doing good, but let me read that. Thank you, Sledge. I did this last week, guys. I came on the airplane. I'm like, you know what? You're welcome, Andrew. Look at all. You know what? I'm going to grab a bigger screenshot because questions. Look at this. There we go. Let me read what Sledge just wrote. Question. The investment clubs are the best value for options education available on the web. The education and intel you get about the market and are remarkable and actionable. Love this family of pros. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not being facetious or tongue-in-cheek when I say this. This is the best hedge fund that I know of in 32 years. Why? Because we're trading our own money. I kind of give a shit about my money. The firm in Chicago and other places, professional traders. Whose money do professional traders trade? Most of them, all the professional traders I knew, were trading the house's money. A little easier to make some trades when it ain't your money, is it? You're not a professional trader. Yeah, I'm better than a professional trader. So look at that, guy. You're welcome. So yes, if you are an annual member, man, right now, you got access to the Hunters. You're welcome. This is a big deal, man. This is big. I'm very, very happy. Pam, so blessed to be part of the TGO team. Emil, I am currently monthly Full Throttle plus solo Amazon. Sweet. I want to be annual Hunters. Emil, you just click this one, man. You click on the right button right here. This is you. You go click this right now, and you'll get access to the Hunters, buddy. This link's in the chat box, but you click on that right green box. Okay? Tomcat charts, don't worry about it. Bart's actually, we're having a little webinar on Friday for our members only, and we're going to Tomcat charts will come out in a couple weeks. I have annual, but don't see hunters in my account. Gene, you might have to refresh or log out or do some booger eating. Or Susie's like, or email me. Support at Top Gun Options. But everybody and remember, guys, if you're a new person, I'm speaking to all the new people right now. This is the better deal. $29.95, man, saves you a shit ton of money. As a trader, as your wingman, you need to do the annual. As a business owner, I'm going to be a jerk and say, I'd rather you do the monthly. Of course I would. That's more money. Do the monthly. That's a jerk move. That's why we came up with the annual. The non-jerk move is to do an annual. To help whiz out and to help me fuel my jet, you do the monthly for 12 months. I don't like that. That ain't me. That's why there's an annual. Or you just do a month-to-month hunters, man. It's up to you guys. I'm actually glad I did this. Look at all the positive feedback. Susie, we are doing great things. No, Barry, absolutely not. Is solo Amazon included in Full Throttle? It is not part of Full Throttle. Let's go back to this chart. This chart is where you need to reside. Solo Amazon is like the name implies, solo Amazon. Tomcat charts will be Tomcat charts. And solo Amazon. Full Throttle is right here. It is the training program, the 3 live trade briefs, the 8 briefs every quarter, blah, 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 blah. Solo Amazon and Tomcat charts are not part of Full Throttle. Give me a vertical head nod. Everybody acknowledge that brief. We'll talk solo Amazon in a couple weeks. Actually, you know what? We're going to do solo Amazon like next week because I have to debrief Amazon earnings. We'll do solo Amazon next week. But I don't want to confuse people. Like now I'm really confused. Chris, these investment clubs really allow you to grow as a trader. You realize you are not alone in this difficult environment. Support throughout the good and bad moments. Wonderful squadron to red team with many smart, heavy heads to bounce ideas off of. Love this group. Wow, look at that. Chris closed her trade from yesterday for an 83% profit, she said earlier. So look at what Chris just said. Chris just made, technically, well, she's a lifetime member, but let me save that. Thank you for that case study, Chris. I'm going to steal it. The link is in the chat box, folks. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT, which is Full Throttle Hunters. This is all, folks. Top Gun Options has been around for 13 years. You are in the first time we're doing this. You are getting more than ever before. And you are welcome. Chris, love this squadron. You are welcome because I feel great. Flying back from San Diego. You ready? Look at this, man. I was on an airplane this time last week. San Diego to Houston, Houston here. And I came up with my Full Throttle stuff. I'm like, you know what, dude? Open. Especially I'm opening because I see another shit show coming. These investment clubs started because of the COVID crash. I see a Biden crash. Chris, love this squadron. You are welcome. All right, guys, I went way too long. I got so much to do today. We are going to meet back here at 8 o'clock. Is Max Afterburner the same as Hunter's Annual? Nope, folks. I'm ditching Benoit. Love your lifetime. Thanks for all. You got it. Goose, I think the red teaming is the best I have seen. You see people on opposite sides of trades discussing the probabilities. Sometimes both are right. The timing is key. Goose just nailed it. Lewis, no, Max Afterburner. I don't even want to talk about Max Afterburner, folks, because that is our lifetime membership. Not cheap. There's 150 people, 146 people over here. Don't look over here. Let's pay no attention to that right now, man. I'm sorry. I wasn't showing anything. Max Afterburner is a lifetime membership. Not even going to mention it, guys. Nope. This is what we're focusing on today, folks. Full Throttle monthly, $295 a month. Hunters monthly gets you the access to the investment club, all my trades live, everybody else's trades live, for $497. Hunters was just $497. But the Lord and the Holy Spirit last week said, dude, You're doing great things this year. Do keep doing great things. So I dropped it. You're getting what was a month ago, $794 for $497. And obviously the best deal is just to do the annual. As a businessman, I would love you to do monthly for the rest of your life. That's a jerk move. Do the annual. All right, guys. I went way too long. My apologies for that, but this is good stuff. Gene, amen. Lewis, you're welcome. Or no, you said thank you. You're welcome. All right, guys. Good stuff. I got a ton of stuff. There's great stuff going on, man. No fallen heroes, saving lives. Do me a favor, man. If you really want to get a sense, I almost want to do this going forward. I know I did. Yes, the replay for this, what I'm doing right now, I'm rambling through, will be on this page. Full throttle replay. And when you're ready to buy, just click on one of those blue. Oops, that goes to the wrong page. Hey, Suze, can you email Tim on the replay page? When they click the green button, it goes back to the old sales page, not this new one. Don't click on that green button; it goes to an old page, and you're not going to get what you deserve right now. That's my failure. So Susie's going to take care of that. But the replay from this brief will be on here, and here's the link to the replay page. Seriously, yeah, you're right. Since I've been talking, the market, volatility's come in. And again, guys, men lie, numbers don't. I do this stuff live. You're not getting 122 PowerPoint slides about how great I was in the past. You're seeing what's going on today live. Again, when we used to go to Money Show in Vegas and stuff, my peers would be like, dude, that's how dumb, man, to open up your doors for a week. I'm like, what are you scared of? I ain't scared of shit. A Course in Miracles begins with this. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. Where did that come from? I have no idea why I talked about that. You too, Lewis. All right, guys, I got to get going. Replay will be posted on the replay page tonight at 8 o'clock. We're going to talk through maybe a bull put spread on vol. We're going to keep the talk on volatility. This is also why I opened the doors and do 122 PowerPoint slides, is because things change. Between now and when the market closes this afternoon, things are going to change. Tonight, we're going to get into some sample training of what you're going to get when you become a Full Throttle member. And not only when you become one, when you stay one. The rest of your time at Top Gun Options, you get free access into that quarterly Full Throttle training, man, those 8 briefs. That pays for itself right there. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless you and your family, and namaste. I'll see you later tonight. Cheers.